भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, chapter number 18, the battle between the Lord Boar and Hiranyaksha. Text number 22 and 23. Brahmovacha Esha te deva devanam Angri moolam peyusham Vipranam sauramerniyam Bhutanam apyanagasam Agaskrityas bhayakrityas duskrityas dharmad uddhava vasoru asura Agaskrit bhayakrit duskrit asmad radhavaro asura Anveshan arpitartho lokan atati kantakaha Anveshan arpito apratirtartho lokan atati kantakaha Brahmovacha Esha te deva devanam Angri moolam upeyisham Vipranam saurabheyainam Bhutanam apyangasam Agaskrit bhayakrit duskrit Asmad radhavaros smaraha Anveshan apratitortho lokan atati kantakaha. One more time. Brahmovacha Esha te deva devanam Angri moolam upeyusham Vipranam saurabhedinam Bhutanam apyangasam Agaskrit bhayakrit duskrit Asmadradhavaro asuraha Anveshan apratitartho Lokan tatil kantakaha
Buddha
Mothers, Brahmovacha. Lord Brahma said, Eshaha, this demon, te, your, Deva, O Lord, Devanam, to the demigods, Angri Mulam, your feet, Upeyusham, to those having obtained, Vipranam, to the Brahmanas, Saurabheyainam, to the cows, Bhutanam, to ordinary living entities, Api, also, Anagasam, innocent, Aghakrit, an offender, Bhayakrit, a source of fear, Duskrit, wrongdoer, Asmat, from me, Radhavaraha, having obtained a boon, Asuraha, a demon, Anveshan, searching, Apratiyatartha, having no proper combatant, Lokan, all over the universe, Atati, he wanders, Kantakaha, being a pinprick for everyone. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, this demon has proved to be a constant pinprick to the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, and innocent persons who are spotless and always dependent upon the worshipping your lotus feet. He has become the source of fear by unnecessary harassing them. Since he has obtained a boon from me, he has become a demon, always searching for the proper combatant, wandering all over the universe for this infamous purpose. There are two classes of living entities. One is called Sura, or the demigods, and other is called Asura, the demons. Demons are generally fond of worshipping the demigods, and there are evidences that by such worship they get extensive power for their sense gratification. This later proves to be the cause of trouble to the brahmanas, the demigods, and other innocent living entities. Demigods habitually find fault with the demons habitually find fault with the demigods, brahmanas, and innocent, to whom they are constant source of fear. The way the demon is to take power from the demigods and then tease the demigods themselves. There is an instant of great devotee of the Lord Shiva who obtained a boon from Lord Shiva that the head of whomever he touches with his hand would come off its trunk. As soon as the boon was offered, the demon wanted to touch the very head of Lord Shiva. That is their way. The devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not, however, ask any favor for sense gratification. Even if they are offered liberation, they refuse it. They are happy simply by engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guruho Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavadeshwari Sabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Sri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Brahmavacha Eshate Deva Devanam Angri Moolam Upeyusham Vipranam Savrabheniyam Bhutanam Apya Anagasam Agaskrit Bhayaskrit Dushkrit Asmad Drava Avasura Anveshan Prati Artho Lokanatati Kantakaha. Lord Rama said, my dear Lord, this demon has proved to be a constant pinprick to the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, and the innocent persons who are spotless and always dependent upon worshipping your lotus feet. He has become a source of fear by unnecessary harassing them. Since he has attained a boon from me, he has become a demon, always searching for the proper combatant, wandering all over the universe for his infamous purpose. Dva vibho purusho loke daivasura sampadayo. Vishnu bhakta bharaved daiva asuryat tad viparyaya. Only there are two kinds of living entities being created, and one is those who are Vishnu bhakta, they become daiva, and the opposites are asuras. Asurat tad viparya. Viparya means opposite. So, in between the two, those who are favoring Vishnu but cannot defend themselves against the demons, so they are called devotees. And generally, to take revenge on Vishnu, they harass Vishnu bhaktas, because somehow or other they also fear Vishnu. But by gradually conquering the innocent followers of Vishnu, the devotees, they become so much obsessed with the power that they think now they can combat with Vishnu. But funny thing is that how come the demons, they play tricks on the demigods. They worship them, maybe sarcastically, and ask boon. The demigods are also devotees of Vishnu, but they can be easily befooled by the treacherous plan makers, the demons. They worship the demigods in order to obtain certain boons, which are seemingly very formidable. But for Lord Vishnu, everything can be tackled in any form, anywhere, because he's omnipotent. But you can see the extent of enviousness is all the way up to offending Lord Vishnu. To offend devotees means to offend Vishnu. To cheat demigods is also wanting to cheat Lord Vishnu. So Hiranyaksha obtained a boon from Lord Brahma, and he would roam throughout the universe and harass everybody. But why did Brahma give such a demon a boon? It was not his independence, but because he has been ordained. Actually, Brahma, when he was creating the 10th creation is of demigods and demons. 9th is human being, but the first 8, from 1 to 8, it is of simpler organisms which totally depend upon the Mother Nature to carry out all the activities. Up to 4-legged animals. They depend totally upon Mother Nature. Only man is little peculiar, but the number 10th is demigods and demons. While number 10th creation was going on by Lord Brahma, the demons were on the backside of Brahma. All right? Even though there was one head, it is considered backside. And in front were the demigods, so naturally who were in the front, you pay attention more. So Brahma was avoiding them. the bodies of the demigods, and these demons who were on the backside, they become impatient. They said, Brahma, whoever you are, we don't care. Why are you doing partiality? Means objections. In each and every activity, one who has a tendency to find fault is an offender himself. So the demons are offenders. And they went up to the extent, oh, he is not listening to us, then let's attack him. And there were two groups of the demon. First one, they said, don't spare him, kill him, kill him. Don't spare him. The other one, then, eat him. Why to kill only? Eat him up. Those who said, kill him, they became yakshas, and those who wanted to eat him up were called rakshasas. So these are the demons, two categories. So Brahma was attacked, and he said, I'm your father. If you eat me, who is going to make you? Anyway, you wait to your turn. He says, no, we can't wait. You are doing partiality. Then you should have come in front. You want to remain hiding on my back. My fourth head, I don't want to use it just to see the fault finders. But yet you want to come and find fault with me? Okay. You have to come in front, then and then I can pay attention. But wait, since you are all at the back, I will come and give you appropriate bodies. If you kill me, you will be in this position forever. So they say, he thinks he's smart. So let's keep little patience, and he will award the bodies. Of course, Brahma properly awarded the bodies of yakshas and rakshasas. But this envious nature, it is ingrained right from very beginning. Those who are envious of Krishna can be envious of devotees also. Undoubtedly. And this envious nature, more or less, is embedded in every living entity who fell from the grace of the Lord. Right from Brahmajyoti or sometimes from Vaikuntha. This guy, Hiranyaksha, came from Vaikuntha. But nonetheless, falling position means showing enviousness is the very important factor to consider what a fallen nature would be. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Sarga means creation. Every living entity out of a separate desire to lord it over that has emerged from the hate element. They fell into the delusion of duality. Dvanda mohena bharata. They are always captured by dvanda, duality. Now, dvanda means fighting also. Dvanda means opposition also. When two people have difference of opinion, it is called dvanda, two. It is not one way or other. It is dvanda, a duel, what we call. Duel is the word utilized in combat. Duel. Duel is utilized word for opposition. There are two different entities competing with each other, but it is because Dvand mohena bharat. Dvand creates moha. They do not know what is right and wrong, yet they want to prove themselves physically right, not spiritually right. So these things are going on in the material world. And this was the first guy who challenged Lord Bohr. Lord Bohr came, he appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma. Brahma knew, but the demigods did not know. What to speak of human beings? But all the demigods came along with Brahma to see the duel, all right, for the benefit of common people. They may not have power or ability to see this kind of fighting, but the demigods, they are higher powers than human beings, and they came for the benefit of human beings. It is said in the previous verse that they came down to see the fight. Now, Brahma did not know that how much chaos and disintegration within the human beings, animals, especially the cows, and so he will create. But Brahma was watching. And Brahma was told that the Lord will appear, but in which way, they did not know. So Bohr incarnation is very peculiar, even though he came from the nostril of Lord Brahma. And soon he assumed the gigantic form. The Lord entered in the Garbhodak ocean right in the and picked up earth. And he was thus challenged, the Hiranyaksha was thus challenged by Lord Bohr incarnation. So, the condition of Mother Earth in the hellish condition, the bottom of Garbhodaksha ocean, means he was, that the earth was shifted to Pataloka. The demons reside there. So, when Hiranyaksha was supposed to get so much empowerment, because he was Lord Vishnu's Parshadam, and nobody can challenge Lord Vishnu. There must be equal competent level of prowess. Both Jay and Vijay were Dwarpal, and they were supposed to be of Kshatriya order, and they must have immense power and fighting skills. So Brahma was watching all this. But then Lord Bohr was also playing around with the demon, but the demon seemed to be overpowering the Lord. Brahma thinks, oh my God, we have to come and inform him who is he. Now, at this time, they are underestimating the power of the Lord. The demons, if they become seemingly more powerful, but it is difficult for the demigods to understand that the Lord is playing around, just like the description that the Garuda is playing with the snake. Sometimes it let it loose and come pick up again, like that. But meanwhile, because demigods also fear. The fear is there as an element of attachment. Demigods are also attached to their position and bodily lustre and so forth and so on. They are not free. They may be in better position, but because of the attachment, the Maya Shakti gives them little kick, and they get puzzled. And they underestimate the power of the Lord, and they think we have to help the Lord. So Brahma is coming to inform who that demon was, as if the Lord doesn't know. Who is omniscient, who is sitting in the heart of that demon also as Paramatma. Do you think he is ignorant of anything? But because of Maya, the demigods also fear for physical safety. No wonder they are representing the human society, whole humanity. For their benefit they came to see, and then they will be witnessing, and then they will be telling their worshipable devotees, worshipping devotees. The demigods are worshipable by those they are supposed to inform in their way of perception. So, that's how all these different Puranas have been, written in order to inform about Supreme Personality of Godhead to their respective worshippers. So, in any rate, this is the situation. Then the Lord is supremely bewildering entity who is playing around with demon. And Lord Brahma and the demigods were very much displeased seeing that power of the demon. They want to come and help, inform the reality of this demon, as if they know everything. So, physical nature is so powerful that even it bewilders the demigods. They fall victim to Maya. And in this way, varieties of description of the feelings of the demigods are happening. If you remember, when Lord Shri Krishna appeared in the heart of Devaki by initiation from Vasudeva, who came at the level of Vishuddha Sattva, the Lord appeared in his mind and in heart. Then Vasudeva became completely acquainted with the Absolute Truth Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, in his original form. And then he transferred the Lord in the heart of Devaki by initiation. By initiation. And Devaki became acquainted with the presence of the Lord. She was very happy, bright, and so the demigods they saw how come Devaki is so bright and effulgent, and so they inferred Lord Krishna must have taken place in her womb. Baba, it is the matter of heart. Where is the question of womb? But they are, having the prowess of getting the progeny begotten by the process of demigod and their wives. They know only with the garbhadan sanskaras. So they assumed. Now, when the demigods are assuming that Krishna has taken place in the womb of Mother Devaki, they glorified in that category, that situation. So, the vision of the demigods, even though they may know that here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in incarnation of boar, they will worship him, but they will pray him according to their perceptions. Perception. They may be closer to transcendental perception, but nonetheless their understanding has been not highly spiritual. Only Brahma or Lord Shiva prays in a very exalted praise called Uttama Sloka. So we find this kind of information that even the demigods are subjected to Maya. And they can worship in different moods. But mostly the transcendental nature has to come down only through disciplic succession. So those demigods who are not under the disciplic succession, Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasa, how the tract of succession comes about. And only to those highly powerful personalities like the first living entity called Brahma, he has been invested with so much power, but yet it is limited in front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So similarly, Lord Shiva also shows some little more, but he has to refrain from imitating the Supreme Lord. He can do destruction through the instrumental, services. He does cosmic, dance at the end of Brahma's day. No, at the end of Brahma's life. Otherwise, the pralaya means inundation of water. And that happens at every end of the Brahma's day. Lord Shiva doesn't have to dance. So everything is on a limited perspective as far as the living entities are concerned. And Brahma created 10 categories of living entities. Number 9 is human, and number 10 is demigods and demons. So they are considered to be competing for power, but material power. Only rare is amongst them who are supposed to be devotees will not depend upon material power. Right? But here is an enactment of the physical lila is going on. The vision of the demigod should be, very ideal on a spiritual level. But because of that, they are the product of material nature. Krishna created them. They are not self-manifested. The demigods show limitation. And generally they want to glorify in their own realizations. So Krishna reciprocates with them. Ye yatha mam prapadyanti tams tathaiva bhajamyam. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasaha. Even the human beings have to reciprocate according to their inclination. In the degree of their surrender, he rewards them accordingly. So like that. So it goes all the way up to demigods, even up to Brahma even. Brahma realizes that he has been given power, but he cannot discriminate. Generally, the demons worship the demigods. That's what has been said here. And when the demons are worshipping the demigods, unless and until they are conversant with the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead, they will be baffled. So, Brahma understands this fact very much. Even Brahma was given the knowledge first, tene brahma radaya adi kavaya. But muhyanti yat suraya, the demigods are bewildered. The position of demigods is not that they are, even though higher authorities, but they are subservient to Lord Shri Krishna's desire and they deal with material affairs. No demigods are dealing with spiritual affairs. Only the Mahajanas. And amongst them, Yamaraj is a Mahajan. They deal with spiritual affairs. So in this way, certain demigods are mentioned. Dvadash Mahajan, how many demigods are there? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu. But Kumar, Kapila, Manu, they are not demigods. Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, they are not demigods. Bali, no. Vyasaki, no. Only Yamaraj is there. So we can understand that the privilege of being a devotee is also rare amongst the demigods, who are actually authorities on spiritual science. So, Upanishads and everyone. Yesterday I spoke about Nachiketa, if you remember. That is spoken in Kathopanishad, and he was sent by his father to Yamaraj out of losing his temper because he was doing philanthropy. And little child asked, "Father, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm giving cows in charity." Oh? Again he asks, "Father, what are you doing?" He said, "Don't you see, I am giving charity. It's one of the functions of Brahmana." Right? Again, third time he asked, "Father, you give charity to the property that you belong. I'm also your property. Whom are you giving me in charity?" And father lost his temper and said, "I'm giving you in charity to Yamaraj. Get out and don't bother me." But yes, this child went to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj was summoned. "We have a visitor who doesn't have his name in our list. He came to see you and he says, his father gave you in charity. Please come." So Yamaraj came and asked Nachiketa, There must be a good reason my father must have sent me. Nachiketa said, please teach me that I don't know yet. And Maharaj told about the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, this is the position of a demigod who has a thankless task to punish each and every living entity who is avaricious or envious of Lord Krishna. Devotees are not envious, therefore he doesn't have to punish them. But as long as we have material desire, even though we have fallen from the spiritual path, then it is due to enviousness. So in that more or less degree of our attachment to the matter after death is punishable by Yamaraj. But he will give as a token, because we are on the way to terminate the material reactions. By performing devotional service in this lifetime, you are reducing whatever is unpaid in the next life, so you don't have to suffer much. So rest assured, devotional service is so powerful that it is rarely available to the demigods even. So Brahma is thinking in this way that, oh, let me inform the Lord, he may not know who this guy is. Come on, buzz off Brahma, he knows everything and he will show you. You are doing your duty, you think you are assisting him? No. This is an act of Maya, which bewilders even Brahma. But when Brahma will get defeated himself, then he will pray. His prayers are so wonderful, Prabhupada liked Brahma's prayer in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. What's that verse? Jnane prayase udapasya namanta eva. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur is reiterating the same verse for jnana prayas and karma prayas. Because the prayas means an endeavor. Itself is a detrimental thing. Devotional service, to perform devotional service, there is no prayas. Because it emerges from the heart. Devotional service does not emerge from a brain. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Bhakti Aloka about this verse, that is, Atyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha janasangasya lolavcha shadbir bhaktir vinashyate. 6 are detrimental to the devotion, and that is prayas. And he explains there is a jnana prayas and there is karma prayas. To learn something more, I did my BA, let me do MA, let me do PhD, let me do on and on, postgraduate, postdoctorate, and so much. This is jnana prayas. You won't get pure devotional service. I know I had a cousin who is elder to me, and she was one class ahead in the college also. And when she was doing MA, she has been given 2 natakas of Rupa Goswami, the Lalita Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav, for study and write a dissertation on it. I said, are you kidding? This is subject matter of devotees. Are you going to become devotee by writing something on Rupa Goswami's realized? Unless and until you are a practicing devotee and of a somewhat higher category, then you have access. And she became, as if the scholars have authority to enter into this subject matter. I told her to chant Hare Krishna, but she doesn't. They were so much obsessed about their category of, she became professor, okay, and doctor, Daksha, Vyas, and this and that, honorary privileges in every function, and the townspeople will call. But she was averse to Krishna. Even chanting holy name it doesn't require. These are because Rupa Goswami has written so much on high level, means only scholars have access to decipher what is written. No. So in this way we see the demoniac nature, even in the subtle form of so-called education, is entering in the minds and misguiding. That is correct. And what to speak of, the demigods are highly, empowered personalities. But empowerment to manage the material affairs, not empowerment of spiritual management. It is voluntary. It is voluntary. The combination of Lord Shiva and Parvati is also very, very unique. Parvati is pure Maya. Pure Maya. And Lord Shiva is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu to indulge in mode of ignorance. So he got transformed. But he chants always to keep himself intact with the order of spiritual, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even when Brahma created 11 Rudras, out of that Shankar is, Krishna says, Rudranam Sankarascha. I am Lord Shiva out of all the 11 Rudras. That is a unique position of Lord Shiva. Now when Shiva emerged out, similar to boar incarnation, when 4 Kumaras denied to become Grahasthis and Prajapatis, Brahma got angry, and from the anger, through his mind, Lord Shiva came. And he came crying, so he is Rudra. Rudra means coming crying, appearing crying. So it is said, Lord Shiva said, crying, "You brought me here, Father. Tell me what is my duty." And Brahma said, "I created you to become Prajapati." Even Lord Shiva did not like, but he took the order, okay, unwillingly crying. So, Brahma went on to produce Manasaputras and so many and different varieties of, empowered rishis and everyone he ordered to become Prajapati. So on one side, the 11 Rudras became Prajapati and they have their progeny. And here the rishis have their progeny. But somehow or another, both the progeny fought. And Rudras are Bhairavas, And they started killing the good guys. So Brahma said, wow, the householder life is very difficult. Well, he is the first example. He doesn't need a wife, but still, to become a Prajapati means to invite troubles. So, Lord Brahma said, Shiva, what is all this? You are powerful, then all the rishis, your progeny is also very powerful. They are killing them. And I'm supposed to populate, that is the function of a Prajapati. Then what is your order, Lord Shiva says? You ask a wrong man to become a Prajapati. Now, what do you want me to do? No, you go in the jungle and meditate. I don't want you to become Prajapati anymore. And from that day onwards, Lord Shiva is always in the matted clothes and always chanting, meditating, doesn't stay in a house even. He's so virakta. And all the population got little calm, but still Brahma did not see how he will increase the population. So out of his mind he created Manu and Shatarupa to become the precursors of mankind. So anyway, the demigods are highly enveloped in the Mayic activity. Very powerful, you know. So those who are after Maya then also need this kind of empowerment. If not empowerment, something, a product. If Maya doesn't come to them to empower them, then okay, give me some product of Maya, bewildering product. They will go to Lord Shiva temple and Parvati, please give me a Mercedes car, and they will get it. Dhanam dehi, stri dehi, janam dehi, 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 dehi. This is the only, style of worshipping the demigods. But devotees are not envious of those. In Mumbai, one time Srila Prabhupada, after coming from the morning walk in Chopadi, and on the way there was a Durga temple, and he went in and started offering from the right side. And all the devotees followed him and they offered. One devotee asked, how come Prabhupada you offer your obeisances from the right side? Prabhupada said, we don't have a disciplic succession on the right side, that's why. We have to honor the position of the demigods in control of this material world. So there is no harm in honoring the demigods. But because we do not follow their methodology of succession, our succession of the Absolute starts from left side. Left side. You saw all these photographs. So we go and we pay obeisances that way. Mindful. Prabhupada went from the right side and offered directly to, there was no disciplic succession. So a devotee always, wherever he goes, he is mindful of his disciplic succession to fix up on the absolute truth. So anyway, this is the most bewildering aspect that has been said in Srimad Bhagavatam, that demigods attempt as if they need to help the Lord. Sometimes the Lord wants to engage them. It's a different story, but they think, oh, the Lord is one of us, we need to help him. By giving as if he may not know who the demon is. So, is there any question or comments? Yes, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Just going back to translation, is Brahma and his entourage of demigods obliged to give boons to living entities, especially when they know that their generous benedictions, such as given to Hiranyaksha in this case, could become a huge disturbance to the living entities, especially the brahmanas, cows, and innocent persons? Are they obliged to give the benediction?
Naturally, whoever worships them, they'll be obliged to reciprocate. And generally, they are trapped because reciprocation comes from the demon. When they offer them boon, what do you want? Come on, don't be so austere. You don't have to kill yourself even to ask a benediction. We are easy. So, they are obliged. Why the government is so much afraid if someone is setting fire on himself in front of the White House or even presidential, he's threatening, isn't it? So such demons, they conduct so much austerity upon their own self to get a benediction. The demon Rakasur or Bhasmasur, he was cutting his flesh to offer in the name of Lord Shiva. Om Namo Shivaya Swaha. He was cutting his flesh. And Shiva was disturbed. And he came. Why are you doing all this thing? Tell me. If you have something to do, there are other ways to say. But the demons go other way around. It is not common. Because more powerful their desire is, more sacrifice they are ready to give. And demigods don't have anything to deal with it like that. So they say, why are you doing all these things? I want one benediction. Okay, I will give you whatever you want. They are obliged. Otherwise, if they are not obliged, they will get repercussions. If somebody sets himself fire in front of a government officer who is supposed, then discredit will be on him, the government person. Look, he could not do anything. Why he is sitting on this post? So it's a challenging thing, and the demigods are thus obliged in their respective ways. When Hiranyaksha also does this thing, what to speak of Hiranyakashipu? He did more austerity than Hiranyaksha, but simply to disturb everybody, wholesale. The description of Hiranyakashipu's austerities have been very well noted. That he could simply, sustain his life within the bone marrows. We can't do that, right? But benedictions are given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead ultimately, but demigods who are serving on behalf of the Lord, they are obliged to give further the benediction on behalf of the Lord, all right? But sometimes they do not understand that what is the idea behind this benediction that he is asking. It means sometimes the benedictions are so tricky that demigods do not know why he is asking this way or that way. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead knows. He becomes agreeable everywhere. And that is the common sense for Brahma even. Okay, Hiranyakashipu, I cannot become immortal, so how can I make you immortal? Oh, I can understand that, but then give me the benediction that I will not be killed in day or night or inside or out or by any weapon, any man, any animal. Oh, that I can give. Oh, that I can give. Oh, have it. And he tried to cover all the angles. And Hiranyakashipu was satisfied, Brahma was also satisfied. Brahma was thinking, I made him a fool because I could not give him immortality. That is, of course. But that is a bodily conception of life. If the soul is immortal, Brahma should not worry. Right? But Brahma was thinking, okay, I spoke the truth. Even I am not immortal. How can I make him immortal? But that is bodily conception of life. But even in bodily conception of life, Krishna is so powerful, he can bewilder. Even his transformations of taking this particular Nrsimha avatar is Purna avatar. Purna avatar, it is said. 3 avatars are Purna avatar. Lord Shri Krishna's, the Lord Ramchandra and Nrsimha Bhagavan. They are all Purna avatars. Perfect and complete. So that is the category when we try to understand through the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brihad Bhagavatam and Laghu Bhagavatamrita. We get full insight that what are the factors which are transcendental in nature came out from the pure devotional fervor of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So much beautiful explanations are there. So, demigods are empowered, but they also get bewildered. Muhyanti, all these Surya means the demigods, right from Brahma. Anything else? Huh?
You also highlighted today that bhakti is the highway and jnana and karma are just the side roads. And we should not deviate from bhakti.
They are not perfect even. Yeah, they are not perfect. Louder.
So you were saying like we shouldn't do jnana prayasa. So does that mean natural jnana prayasa only or spiritual?
Jnana prayas means endeavor to acquire knowledge. Endeavor to acquire knowledge. You can acquire knowledge by sitting and perfect inquiry in reference to the Absolute, to the Guru. Then you will be imparted the knowledge because he has practical knowledge of it. Right? That is not jnana prayas. If you listen to the transcendental sound vibration, is not jnana prayas. If you read Srila Prabhupada's books, it's not jnana prayas. Because elemental aspect of bhakti is in every word connected to Lord Krishna. So how come that can be a jnana prayas? Jnana prayas means trying to use your own logic and understanding, you end up misinterpreting. Jnana prayas will not make you devotee. Jnana is a product of material nature. Because Vijnana is still remaining. Jnana means theoretical knowledge, Vijnana means practical knowledge. But the result is bhakti. So jnana in itself is incomplete. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So jnana prayas in itself is useless. Similarly, karma prayas is also useless. One may generate the byproduct in karma prayas and you will be bewildered by the fruit. Both good will also bewilder you to accept and enjoy, and that is nothing but an act of bewilderment. Similarly, the same fruit can become also the cause of your distress, and it is bewildering. In the activities of bhakti, you do not want to enjoy the fruits. You want to give it back to Lord Shri Krishna. When Krishna is pleased, the reflection of that bhakti will fall on you and make you pleased. Our pleasure is derived from Krishna's pleasure. So we are supposed to do service only, favorable to Krishna. And then when you are in tune, your own devotional service is a spontaneous service in pleasuring mood. If you have not derived the pleasure by performing pure devotional service, how would you continue even? And that is not karma prayas. That is not called karma prayas. Bhakti Shastri, while performing the sadhana, is not karma prayas. As Bhakti Shastri is opened in every college, and we do not insist that you don't need to chant, just do Bhakti Shastri. That will be karma prayas or jnana prayas. But because we follow the process of bhakti, and then we have to be acquainted with shastric knowledge, then we are in tune with the subject matter by practice as well as by theory. How can it be karma prayas? It's not separate. But our habit that, okay, I'm a Bhakti Shastri student, I don't need to chant my rounds right now. Up, come on. That's not going to work out. Those who are already practicing and they are reconfirming the truth which is emerging, which has been explained by the Goswamis in Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Updeshamrit and Ishopanishad. Everything is revealed scriptures. So that is not karma prayas. As if it is becoming part of your sadhana. Oh, you were not reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Okay, here is an opportunity. Enter into Bhakti Shastri and you will be taught also. But you can't do Bhakti Shastri stopping your sadhana. It's part, reconfirming, readdressing the subject matter. Right? So devotional practices are explained in the Shastra. Oh, I have to do this. No, unless and until it reaches to your heart, how are you going to do it? Anything else? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.